It's 8 p.m. and here are our top stories. Denver businesses planning for a grand slam this baseball season.
That's where we make our money.
But stalled negotiations could leave them swinging for the fences.
It's scary, you don't know what's going to happen.
Russian forces creeping closer to the Ukrainian capital.
Mr. Putin is the one escalating this and continues to do so.
Tonight, the Pentagon on alert for nuclear threats as the mass exodus from Ukraine turns into a humanitarian crisis.
The numbers of refugees and internally displaced multiplying by the minute.
Thieves targeting car dealerships and putting their inventory on the chopping block.
We are losing the money and we cannot sell.
Aurora's mayor hopes the third time's the charm for a proposed camping ban, but one council member says the plan is a step backwards.
It is the least humane solution we could find.
Good evening and thank you for watching Denver 7 News on Local 3. I'm Jessica Porter.
I'm Daniel New. We're starting today with sports as the fate of this year's Major League Baseball season continues to not look so hot. As it stands, the MLB owners and the Players Association just can't come to an agreement about the only thing this stuff ever seems to be about: money.
Among those impacted most are the people who rely on the revenue the Rockies bring to downtown Denver.
Denver 7's Russell Haythorne reports that there is a real chance of regular season games being canceled.
At Milk Market, one block down from Coors Field.
I'll go check in on those guys.
GM Jake Humphreys says baseball is a huge moneymaker.
So opening day is usually one of our biggest days of the year. Brings in a crowd that fills the entire restaurant up twice over, before and after the game.
So the idea of a lockout this season could hit hard.
Especially our staff. They go in above and beyond to make sure that everyone here has the best experience that they can.
Down the street at Wincoop.
It's scary, you don't know what's going to happen. We can get you at a high top.
Server Drake Horner says no baseball means no money.
That's when we make our money. I go to grad school, I pay rent, I need it to pick up. We get a post-game rush, pre-game rush. It's how we save up money for the slow season.
The players just want a little more money.
Broncos insider and former Rockies beat writer Troy Rank says one of the main sticking points in the negotiations is more money for young players.
They want more money for the minimum salary. They want more money for players of 0 to 2 experience, the best players of 0 to 2 experience. They don't think the players should have to wait until really that 5th year to make big money. They want the best young players to get more money sooner because of their career window is short.
Rank says it's also about increasing the salary threshold to encourage big market teams to spend more on good players. Rank says what's at risk? Losing fans over greed.
You can't kill the romance of the game by taking away spring training. That's where you create new fans. That's where you have people take vacations. That's where the interaction occurs, the autographs.
We did go to a lot over the past year.
Fans like Robert would hate to miss the action.
I love getting out of the games. I live nearby, so I hope we can get them started on time and find a resolution. It's a big bummer.
Servers like Drake are hoping a deal gets done quickly.
Absolutely, please help us out.
Russell Haythorne, Denver 7.
And we've seen this play out before. The Rockies were in their infancy when a dispute over money led to the 1994 World Series being canceled and players going on strike for more than 7 months. The 1995 season was on the verge of being played with replacement players when then federal judge Sonia Sotomayor issued an injunction and effectively brought the strike to an end. And get this, the Washington Post notes that Sotomayor peppered her ruling with baseball analogies and admonished the New York Times editorial board for suggesting she didn't know the game.
Well, tonight the Pentagon is warning that Russian forces are creeping closer to the Ukrainian capital, which is pronounced Kyiv in Ukrainian. This comes as outmanned and outgunned Ukrainians are putting their lives on the line in towns across the country in attempts to stop the deadly advancements of Russian forces. And despite this, the Pentagon is warning that Russian President Vladimir Putin has significant combat power idling by as he has now ordered Russian deterrence forces, which includes nuclear arms, to be on high alert. However, the White House says it wants to, quote, reduce the rhetoric and de-escalate after the move.
Everybody knows that that is not a war that can be won.
Mr. President, should Americans be worried about nuclear war?
No.
Meanwhile, more than 500,000 refugees have fled Ukraine in the last several days. The U.S. is sending millions of dollars in humanitarian aid, but we're also seeing extraordinary acts of kindness from neighboring countries. Volunteers in Poland meeting a bus of refugees, offering them free rides to safety.
Here in Colorado, the House and Senate both passed resolutions to stand with Ukraine while condemning Russia. Members of the House are urging Russia to immediately cease its violent, illegal, and immoral assault upon Ukraine and the needless bloodshed and return to diplomacy.
Meanwhile, reports out of Ukraine show the Russian invasion isn't going as the Kremlin had hoped. Christoph Stiefis with CU Denver believes that Ukraine will eventually fall, but that every day it doesn't will come at a cost to Russia and its president.
Ultimately, the Russians, I believe, will be victorious here. But the problem is to make it as expensive as possible for the Russians at this point so that you can actually change the calculation of Putin himself or get Putin out of power.
President Biden will address the Russian invasion of Ukraine in his first State of the Union address tomorrow. President Biden will also talk about inflation and rising costs, as well as increasing crime rates and lingering coronavirus restrictions. You can watch the State of the Union right here on Denver 7 starting at 7. We'll also have in-depth 360 coverage of his speech on Denver 7 News at 10.
Catalytic converter thefts remain a major problem in the metro. Denver police just sent us new numbers that show 280 catalytic converters have been stolen off cars so far this year. And last year, DPD says the total was more than 2,600. And now thieves are starting to target dealerships.
Denver 7's Sloan Dickey spoke with one of those dealerships off of East Colfax, and he reports those dealerships have to pay to replace the stolen converters.
This is what it sounds like.
Just too loud.
When a catalytic converter is stolen.
Now I know I'm gonna lose the money.
Thieves no longer going after the whole car at Jambo Motors in Denver, but just one valuable part costing thousands to replace.
It's $3,333.
Jambo Wildohannes has been hit 12 times over the past year.
My costs went up by $20,000 plus.
Thousands in damages and a fleet of now unsellable cars sitting on the lot.
Yeah, we are losing the money and we cannot sell. I have to park this car until I get a catalytic converter.
It's a problem for everybody.
It's a problem across Colorado. Daniel Birkencotter owns stores across the Front Range. All of them have been hit.
We've had over 17 vehicles that the cats were cut off of.
According to the Colorado Independent Automobile Dealers Association, since 2019, Colorado has seen a 5,000% increase in catalytic converter thefts.
I have gotten calls daily for about the last 10 months. The thefts on catalytic converters.
A problem crippling the industry.
Members are going out of business. We've had members close their doors because they've been hit more than once.
CEO David Cardella says there's a solution. He's lobbying for Senate Bill 9 that would allow repair shops to install much cheaper aftermarket catalytic converters in the state. It's been banned since 2018. Critics say the move would be environmentally destructive, allowing more dangerous car exhaust into the air, even if it would save hundreds on repairs.
We need to get these cars back on the road in an inexpensive and timely manner.
For now, Jambo is left to pay for more security and check each one of his nearly 100 cars each morning. And then calculate the damage when he hears a sound like this. Sloan Dickey, Denver 7.
Thank you, Sloan. Moving on, Aurora City Council votes tonight on a proposed camping ban. It would prohibit camping on public property and allow city officials to sweep encampments with a 72-hour notice. Mayor Mike Coffin proposed the law as a way of combating homelessness, but Democratic Councilwoman Allison Coombs tells Denver 7 that she thinks it would be a waste of resources.
If we actually enforce this ordinance, then we're devoting significantly more police and other staff resources, as well as undertaking other costs for the cleanup. And that the only way that that can be done is by taking police away from other job duties.
Coombs also says there should be more focus on affordable permanent housing. Under the new provision, the city manager would be required to provide shelter for people being moved.
Coming up on Denver 7 News at 8, harmful chemicals seeping into Colorado waterways.
We need all the companies involved to be held responsible.
Now the state is taking a stand, over forever chemicals.
And those behind this chemical need to be held to account, and we need them to step up.
Too close for comfort. What CPW is saying about mountain lions after one was caught underneath a home. Plus, for one Colorado teen, there's nowhere to go but up.
We had 60s today, 70s are in the forecast, but also colder, wetter weather within the 7 day.